Paul, thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
Children and families mean a lot to me, and they also mean a lot to your listeners.
Well, Paul, talk to us about coronavirus affecting Guatemala and places like Haiti.
It's interesting. When we talk about coronavirus, you think about the symptoms: runny nose, sore throat, cough, difficulty breathing, slight fever. These are all things that we see in chronic malnutrition children and families. You see, oftentimes these families cook in the same space where they live. They rolling boil water so that the smoke from the fire completely just smokes out these children and gives them all types of respiratory illnesses. The children cough incessantly. We were in a community just a few weeks ago in Guatemala, and as the mother told us about the bad water, the poor water that she drinks every day, that she's forced to give her children, her little boy, 5 years old, is coughing incessantly next to her because this water and the waterborne illness on the inside of his body is causing this illness. And then, of course, for these children who don't eat every day, and the ones that do eat, their diet is not healthy, and the drinking water is poor and polluted. A slight fever could be fatal for these children. So we talk about things that we really in the last few weeks have been very frightened about and very concerned over in this nation. But this is something for generations in Guatemala, and we need to help these families right now.
I'm talking to Paul Jacobs with Food for the Poor. To make your donation, go to my website, LarryElder.com. You'll see at the very top a banner that says Feed Starving Families, or you can do it by phone, 855-918-4673. 855-918-HOPE. Paul, I've been playing some pieces from Euronews and from PBS, all talking about the stunted growth of these children, and that you can never really recover. I would also imagine we're talking about mental growth also being stunted as well.
Absolutely. Blanquita, a girl that I met just a few weeks ago in Guatemala, in a nutritional center that you, Larry, you've traveled with us to. You see the children who are brought off the streets. They're brought from abandonment, and they're saved. They're given long-term care. I saw this little 6-year-old girl, very slow, very quiet, very sullen in the corner, playing with some of the other children, but not as energetic. And, of course, my attention was drawn to her. And, of course, I want to just get her story. And I go over, and she's very affectionate, very loving. And I gave her some toys and some stickers that she loved. And I thought she was probably about 6, 7 years old at the most. Mm-hmm. And when I asked the nurses, how old is little Blanquita, they told me she was 12 years old. This little girl had gone through years of not eating every day. The food that she was eating was literally reversing her growth process, and the child did not have clean water to drink. And these are permanent effects in this child: mental illness, stunted growth. It's an invisible crisis for these children in Guatemala.
I'm talking to Paul Jacobs with Food for the Poor. $320 provides a hungry family of 4 with food for a year and water for life. Again, go to my website, LarryElder.com, to help. Every time, Paul, you come on, people ask me, how in the devil do you provide a hungry family of 4 with food for a year and water for life with just $320?
It's not packs of water from Costco, I can tell you that. It's much grander than that. It's ministry partners who donate food. It's the economies of scale. Food for the Poor feeding millions on a daily basis, millions of meals on a daily basis, that we have foods that we buy on the open market far less. But here's the key to all of that. It's the ministry partners on the ground. It's the ministry partners that are vetted, that are responsible, that are handling what we turn over to them to extend into the countries, into these rural and indigenous areas for these families. They are handling our gifts, your donations, the food that we give them very efficiently and very effective. And so we can then take what little we receive from you and extend it so much farther for a family of 4.
Paul, Haiti is a poorer country than Guatemala. Why does Guatemala have a worse record for malnutrition?
Very simple. In these rural indigenous areas where there's no representation, and these families where we visited on our recent trip to Guatemala, they are far from any city center. A lot of them are living on an agrarian economy, which means they live on the farms, they work on the farms. Well, there's been a drought since 2015 that have wiped out large and small farms alike. These families are unemployed. They cannot feed themselves. They cannot make it into it's a 2-hour drive, Larry, into a Guatemala city or a major city, much less to walk on foot. And these families cannot afford transportation. So they're left alone. They're left unrepresented, and these families do not eat every day. And so our ministry partners are making an effort to get to these indigenous families as fast as possible in probably some of the worst child-stunted growth and malnutrition in the Western Hemisphere.
My guest has been Paul Jacobs. He is with Food for the Poor. In order to make your donation, please go to my website, larryelder.com. You'll see the Feed Starving Families banner at the very top. $320, as Paul and I were talking about, will provide a hungry family of 4 with food for a year and water for life. Just go to my website, larryelder.com, or you can call 855-918-4673. That's 855-918-HOPE. Paul, we only have a few minutes left. Talk to us about the quality of the water that's there.
So very simple. One community is an indicative of many of the communities that we visit. Their water is sometimes a lake, a natural body of water. It's not potable. It's not filtered. It's not clean by any stretch of the imagination. Oftentimes, a lot of runoff from these communities, even trash and animals who relieve themselves in this water. And that is where these families are taking their buckets, taking their cans, whatever containers that they can, and siphoning out this water and walking very treacherous long roads and paths back to their community.
Wow.
They boil it, and they probably kill off some of the things that you see on the top surface, but it's really the waterborne illness and some of the parasites you cannot see that is the most dangerous, that they cannot boil, and they cannot add bleach to make it clean enough to drink.
Paul and I would love for you to go to my website, larryelder.com, see the Feed Starving Families banner at the very top, or make your donation by phone, 855-918-4673, 855-918-HOPE. Paul, thank you so very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Larry.